Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Libra in November 2019. Hello, Libra. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Libra, November 2019, 2020, come on in. That's more for me. I don't know if you feel that way. 2020, let's get into it. I'm kind of excited for 2020. I don't know why, but I just feel excited for it. Anyway, we're not there just yet. Here we are again doing this for November. So happy Thanksgiving for those who will be celebrating here in the States or wherever you are around the world. I hope you have an amazing day. Eat all the foods, my friend. Eat them all, because why not? That's part of like the whole festivity, is to eat amazing food, right? Assuming people in your family and friend circle like can cook. You know, my condolences if you're around people who are not good cooks. Anyway, Libra, I've shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. Oh, before I get into that, I'm sorry. I had a little bit of an announcement. I will be going live on Thanksgiving week or during Thanksgiving week, either that Monday or Wednesday of that week here on the channel, to show gratitude to my viewers and my subscribers, my clients, and everybody who supports me in this. So if Libra, you have free time and you want to stop by and ask a quick and simple little tarot question, I will lay some cards for you as a way of saying thanks for being a friend, right? So I will post to the channel. I'll put that on the community tab here on the channel when I actually decide and figure out what time would be most applicable. So you can be on the lookout for that coming up again the week of November here on the channel. Excuse me. My throat is a little scratchy. I don't know why. Anyway, now on with the regularly scheduled programming. Libra, I've shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle now on camera for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp will be in the description box if you choose to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. And if you have any questions before you actually place an order, feel free to email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do all that fun stuff YouTube allows you to do. If the reading resonates with you, if you generally like my vibe, if you think I have a weird but also kind of effective sense of humor, whatever. Showing support is always good karma and always good juju, yeah? All right, Libra, let's go. Please show me Libra's outcome for November 2019. Libra's outcome for November 2019. Please show me. Shy. Don't wanna have an outcome? Don't wanna tell me how the story ends? There it goes. Down to the floor. Overall energy is the, bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And your outcome came just like that. Now look here, Libra. No cards came face down. I tend to believe that that means you are getting clear on something, someone else is getting clear on something, there are things that are no longer hidden or things that will be revealed, or you know, you might be playing a game of poker, but your poker face is not the best. So there's something about everything is sort of shown. That is usually a vibe I get whenever all the cards come face up. So let's see if that's true in terms of what the content is here, or the context is. All right, so let's get into it. Please show me where Libra is. Excuse me. In November 2019. Please show me Libra in November 2019. Please show me. Okay, is that right? Okay, cool. Libra, coming into your reading, you come in with the Empress card. Well, it's you. The Empress is secondary major arcana for Taurus and Libra. So this is, it could be you, it could be a Taurus, it could be anybody really. Since the question is, where's Libra? For now, I'm going to say it's you. In some of your cases, it's someone that you're around, someone of importance, someone that you're connected with. but in some cases, this is you. Now, the Empress, as a general interpretation of this card, of this energy, is about abundance, fertility, beauty, sexuality, the richness of life, or the beautiful aspects of life, pleasure, indulgence, sensuality, things like that. Like, they keep showing me people, and this is probably like, you know, we've seen scenes like this in like movies from like the Roman Empire or like ancient Egypt, where someone, you know, could be this character, the Empress, lounging on a chair. You know, someone is fanning them with a big palm leaf, right? They have grapes being fed to them, all these kind of food, like this overly luxurious experience is what they're showing me. So I think that's just maybe a vibe you're in, or what you're projecting is pleasure, ease, relaxation, having access to those things, wishing for those things, doing those things. Some of you, you know, instead of going home for Thanksgiving, maybe you're like, I am going to go to Tahiti, or I'm going down to Australia. I'm going where it's hot, where it's, you know, sandy beaches, and I can just relax, you know, sip on a pina colada and like not worry about life. This is to some degree a little bit escapist, because, you know, the scene I even described, you know, lying down on a chair, people fanning you and feeding you fresh fruit, that is not a way of life for most people. Even back then, that wasn't the way of life for most people. It was a place or a way for some people to live, people of power, people of influence, or people with money, or whatever, who were anointed or given, you know, dominion over a whole empire, right? So it's not a normal experience. So that's what this is getting to, is like, you're dreaming of this. And like I said, some of you may, you know, opt to go and take a personal vacation instead of visit family over the holidays, or just for, you know, shits and giggles on a weekend. I don't want to, you know, spend another weekend in the house watching Netflix or catching up on chores, or, you know, paying bills online. I'm going down to the casino, or I'm going to go do this. This is about seeking pleasure or fantasizing about pleasure. The aspects of abundance, I think, is here. For some of you, you have abundance already. What do I mean by abundance? You're well fed, you're well taken care of, you have a good job, you have a good amount of money. So there's no harm in fantasizing, because you're not just dreaming your life away. You already have a substantial foundation or substantial ground underneath you. So you can sort of afford, in quotation marks, afford to dream of what your life could be, or how it could be more enhanced, or again, more aligned and open to receiving pleasure. Because that's the other thing I get about the Empress in this specific case. Oh, maybe not. Okay, hold on. Okay. Because in that image I was talking about, being fed by, you know, fed grapes on the vine or whatever, that's receiving pleasure. People are servicing you, Libra, or the person that I'm seeing in my mind, which is a person. It's neither a male or a female, it's just a person. And so that is a reception of pleasure. So many of you want to receive pleasure. You want to receive good treatment. So maybe, you know, the weekend, instead of going to the casino or flying off to a far destination, you simply book yourself a session down at the spa. You go for a deep tissue, you go for a facial, you go for a foot rub and a foot scrub, and you just like treat yourself. A lot of you want to be physically treated with pleasure, or experience pleasure in a physical, sensual way. Doesn't mean, you know, sex. It can be that. But again, it could be like food. You know, maybe you don't dine out very often. You've saved up your money, or you've decided to splurge a little bit, and you go down and maybe you go to and get a dessert, something like that. Receiving is the bigger draw. The aspect of involving others is also here. but that's not as feasible, not as possible as you would like it to be. If there is one particular person that you want to share pleasure with, again, it doesn't have to be sexual. It could just be a friend. Let's go on a road trip together. Let's go down and watch a movie together. Let's go see a Broadway show together, whatever. That person, whoever they are, I don't know who this is, but whoever they are, unavailable. They're not available. They're tied up elsewhere. They are indisposed. Yeah. Or they don't want to. Some are really resistant to engaging in pleasure with you, Libra, and you're just like, I wish you could see what I'm seeing, because it's not any specific movie. I'm just seeing archetypes from movies or archetypes that I remember reading from books, where it's just like a pleasure palace. Again, it doesn't have to be sexual, but this Empress energy lives in a place. This is you, or this is what you're fantasizing about, living in a place where nothing in the world is bad. Everything is great. The grapes are the most plump and juicy. The palm leaves, when someone is fanning it, it's like the coolest breeze. It's like a fresh ocean breeze. You've got people waiting on you hand and foot, and nothing breaks that, not cycle, but that experience. It just continues. It just builds and builds and builds and becomes more and more and more. It's almost overindulgence, whether you're doing that or thinking of doing that. And there is there's this interest to have other people, or at least one person, enjoy in that, but they can't, or they won't, or you're not allowed to. Something like that. I don't know what this is, Libra. I don't know. A lot of it feels like a fantasy. That's where I was going, because I'm seeing a lot of different images come together, and it's so indulgent. It's, if I'm honest, and if you've been with my channel, I'm not religious, but it's like a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of feeling. At least that's what I think. I have never studied any holy book or anything like that, but I believe the issue with Sodom and Gomorrah was that it was too indulgent. It became too over the top. Or something that I know I've seen, where in the Ten Commandments, after Moses, gets people out of Egypt, crosses them gets them across the Red Sea or whatever, and they get there like, hey, Moses, what are we doing here? He's like, I'm going to go up to the mountain. I'll be back. And when he's up there, the crowd is like, well, he's gone. What are we going to do? We need a new god. And they build this new god of gold, like all their gold bangles and jewelry. They fashion this gold bull, and it becomes this site of hedonism. So that's what this feels like. Hedonism. Not judging anybody. I have no idea where this is coming from. But that's what it feels like you're interested in. It feels like what you're doing. It, again, does not have to be sexual. You could literally like go down to a buffet and be like, I'm skipping all the entrees. I'm just going to hit up the dessert bar. Give me all the cakes. Give me all the pies. Give me all the cookies. Give me all the ice cream. It's just like your dinner is the dessert bar. Does that make sense? Now, you're not hurting anybody, really, but it's too much, especially if you do it over and over and over again. Okay? That's interesting. I don't know why that's here. It's interesting because it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real in the sense of it doesn't feel sustainable. Thank you. That's it. You may do it. You may go to get a massage. You may go to the spa. You may fly to Tahiti or fly down to Sydney or wherever, and for a while experience that. But the real world says, Libra, like I told you, that's not a normal way of living. That's not how most people live. If you are like some highfalutin, super rich, person of access and influence and money, great. But most people don't live like that. You only live like that for a short while. So that's where this caution is that I feel, or that's where maybe the resistance is from another person. Like Libra, they might tell you, Libra, you're so great and you're so cool, but you live in a fantasy world. You wanting to go out every Friday night, every Saturday night and party and take me out on the town and go here and go there. Like that's fine, but we can't do that for 20 years. And you're like, yes, we can. Of course we can. And they're like, no, I have to work. You have to work. We have to pay bills, or we have to take care of the kids, and we have to do this. Someone is basically bursting your balloon, bringing you back down to earth with reality, a reality check. Okay? So, your creativity, your dreaming is a little dashed. Your dreams are dashed here, because this King of Wands, who I was dealing with a few readings ago, he was not a friend of mine a couple readings ago, but in your reading, I feel this is fine. King of Wands in reverse, for fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You might be dealing with a fire sign, but it's a general. You don't have to be. This is you. More than your creativity, I think it kind of snuffs out, you know, when you get that reality check, whether it's from one specific person, or, you know, it's your alarm going off on Monday morning telling you to get out of bed and head down to the office. Whatever it is, or whoever it is, you feel so uninspired by the regular monotony of your life. Not to say you're miserable, not to say you hate your job, not to say you hate your family life and, you know, you just want to, you know, fake your own death and create a new personality. I'm not saying that. That's an extreme case of being dissatisfied. I don't feel it's that. I think in this moment, you're dreaming so big, and other people or circumstances around you quell and douse the fire of your King of Wands energy. It makes you, it doesn't, oh gosh, how can I say this? The purpose of the person saying, but we have responsibilities, or we can't party every weekend, or, you know, the purpose of your alarm going off, the purpose of those 10 a.m. Monday meetings that you hate so much, is not to say, Libra, get used to misery, or Libra, forget about your dreams. I think, again, it's just to remind you, reality says we can't live in pleasure all the time. That's what it is. We can't live in the confines of, you know, just laying out on the beach. Like, that's not a real, to some people, that's not a real life. To you, Libra, maybe it is. You know, maybe you are or want to be a world traveler. Maybe you want to kind of give up most of your worldly possessions and travel the world and experience new cultures firsthand. Or you want to, you know, make a career out of, you know, being a gambler or something like that. Maybe you want to be I keep getting this whole, again, hedonism, and not like in a biblical way, not in the way of, you know, fire and brimstone, but it's hedonism as in, I just want to be happy, or I want to feel good, and I want the thrill of things. So that's why I'm getting like this idea of like gambling and like playing poker professionally. It's like, yeah, when you win big, you win. It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in some of those tournaments, I believe. But when you lose that much. You lost you lost $500,000 because that was the entry fee for the tournament. It's like, some of you, like, that attracts you so much. The risk of it. Like, you want to feel alive. And there's someone around who reminds you or is telling you, Libra, that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Whether or not you believe that, or whether or not you accept that, I don't know. But they burst your bubble, basically. Your relation to this person is at least friendly, or you guys are at least friends. In some cases, this is like your significant other. In other cases, it's a family member, or in some cases, it's just, again, the circumstance that you're surrounded by. Again, you get up on Monday, you realize, got to take the kids down to the bus stop, and then I got to drop the dry cleaning off, and then, you know, like, the routine of your life reminds you that maybe this is not feasible for you, okay? So, you have a interesting reaction to it, it feels like. Yeah, this is like a cycle. Thank you. This is a cycle. We dream big. come down to earth, you know, make contact with the ground. Then we go here and then we go here, right? Okay, thank you. So then you become the King of Swords, your home base, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This could be, again, the King of Wands can, that energy or that message or that function can come in the form of another person or circumstances. I feel similar to this. It could be a person or it could just be the circumstances around you. Bitter, stark reality. What is rational here, Libra? What makes sense here? What computes? You know, the King of Swords, and in general, the sword suit and tarot is about what can we predict based on history? What can we puzzle, or what can we formulate based on the facts? What can we suppose based on the facts? There's no fantasy with the King of Swords. If this is another person, could be your boss. I don't think it's the partner of you, because I think if you have a significant other or a close friend or whoever, you know, you have an effusive or amorous relationship with, I don't think that they're like this. I think that they like that part of you, Libra. They find that very charming, that you dream so big and that you have a huge heart and you're so interested in experiencing the world through your senses, you know, touch, taste, sight, and smell. It's like you're probably that person when you're cooking dinner. You like, you know, oh, babe, taste this. Taste it. Oh, isn't that great? You know, you're like so in love with whatever you're experiencing through your senses. And you want other people to experience it. So your friend, your lover, whoever, they like that of you. They love that of you. They just reel you. They can't help themselves. They have to reel you in sometimes because they think you kind of get too lost in your fantasy or too lost in that interest and pleasure. Yeah. Now this person is probably not your partner. And they are very much just interested in what is factual, what is true, what can we prove in a situation, what can we suppose or discern from a situation. This person is smart. They're clever in to a certain degree. They might have a little bit of creativity, but it's not the trait that they put on the table first. This person is more logic driven. And they seek results. They seek tangible results or results that can be turned into pertinent or effective change. You know, again, this person could be creative, but they're not a dreamer. And sometimes those overlap, but this person, they can be creative and they might have good ideas, but as far as like dreaming beyond what is possible, no. Like this is a person who they could, you know, take a coloring book and they could color it in, but they never go out of the lines. The sky is always blue. It's never purple or green or orange, which in your estimation or someone else's is kind of boring. This person can create, but they don't think outside the box, okay? This person might be critical of you. Or again, I'm saying this is a cycle. This could be your own thing. Because again, it is your home suit, Libra. So sometimes you might get into a vibe, if it is just your own energy, where you kind of, for lack of a better word, beat yourself up for being so dreamy, for being so wrapped up in this Empress energy and forgetting your priorities, forgetting your responsibilities or sleeping on them, postponing them, you know what I mean? And so you kick yourself being like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I drink so much Friday night? Or why did I drink so much Saturday night? Now, you know, I'm waking up, it's like 11 a.m. on Sunday and I have so much stuff to catch up on. And you just like vow to yourself never to get that quote unquote out of hand, right? So it's like this person or you encourages you to stop this. Or when this happens, when you feel this way, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Again, I don't think it's your partner. It could be, but I don't think it is. And if it is you, it's a much weirder dance than it is if this is an external person. What do I mean by dance? Like, honestly, if I'm honest, I'm not a clinician. I'm not a doctor. I'm just somebody who connects with feelings, emotions, and energies. And what this feels like is maybe one or two of you is bipolar. Because bipolar is about the high highs and the low lows, right? This is a high high. Everything I keep seeing with this Empress energy is just like, again, Sodom and Gomorrah. Just like, who lives like that? Who can endure or be, you know, like at some point, wouldn't you be suspicious that every time you go to take a bite of an apple or, you know, eat a grapefruit or whatever, it's just the most amazing fruit you've ever tasted? Like, it's continual pleasure, continual satisfaction, continual. That's not realistic. Then you have this, not Eeyore, because this person is not depressed, or this energy is not depressed, but this energy is so on the ground, it's almost in the ground. Like I said, doesn't dream, colors within the lines of a coloring book. And again, I'm not a doctor. Don't take this tarot as like, oh, I've been diagnosed. No, but it's like such a opposite or opposing standpoint or viewpoint that it feels a little bipolar. So could be you, could be someone you're dealing with. It's not harmful, at least. I don't feel this is a harmful energy. Okay, wait, they're like, hold up. And they're like, right here. So let me go ahead and amend that. In most cases, it's not a harmful energy. I'm going to say that because the last point in your cycle is the Knight of Swords. Could be another person, but now... yeah, it still could be another person. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Could be another person, and could be you. This person, fiery. Or maybe not fiery because it's swords. I don't want to conflate the language that we sometimes use in tarot. But this person is excitable. There you go. Excitable. Fast. Slick is the word that's coming across. Slick. Savvy. Okay. Socially savvy, this person. Could be you. Still could be you. I feel this person or this energy or this aspect of yourself is the reaction to how boring or mundane or just like letting the air out of somebody's tires is the King of Swords. That's so weird because I don't really remember much of his character, but I do. Okay, so back, if you know me, you've been around my channel, you know I talk about movies all the time. You know how in Back to the Future, the first one and the second one, I think, there was the principal at the high school during the even in the 80s, I thought, but definitely in the 50s, where Michael J. Fox's character, no, George McFly. Isn't it George McFly? He walks up to him and like hits him. Slacker! You're a slacker! This person, or that energy is like that. You're a slacker. Like, wise up. The world isn't like that. Life isn't all, sunshine and rainbows, kid. You got to deal with realities. You have to deal with the practicalities of life. And this is like the what's his name? What's his name in the movie? Michael J. Fox's character. George McFly? Marty McFly. There you go. Marty McFly. This is like the Marty McFly where I'm excitable. Hey, Doc. All that hyper shit that Michael J. Fox was doing in that movie. Quick, very fast moving, moves from one place to another, right? Agile, that's the word. Agile, this person. Physically or mentally, since it's swords. And this is someone who takes the practicality of the King of Swords and flips it. Sort of MacGyvers it. The King of Swords might have a tried and true method of doing something, and they expect that, okay, it'll take me about 5 minutes to do this project, or 10 minutes to do this project, something like that. This person will have the same task, the same project, but do it a completely different way, be just as smart about it, be just as rational or logical about it, maybe not rational, but logical about it, but they'll do it a different way. and they'll do it quicker. They might skip a few steps. They might, MacGyver something together. They might, fudge something or skip you know what I mean? They still get the result, but they didn't play by the rules, so to speak. This person is a rule breaker, which gets on the King of Swords' nerves. They might be two different people. I don't know. But this one, slacker, King of Swords. Knight of Swords, riding around on a hoverboard. Yeah? So I don't know if this is like you have external influences around you, Libra. One that brings you down to earth, one that criticizes you, one that might encourage you to keep on with it. Because that's the thing about this Knight of Swords. He's rushing towards the Empress, right? Due to the orientation on the board. So this could be someone who comes to you and is like, hey Libra, what are we doing this weekend? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Last weekend we partied and I spent too much money. And then I just fell back on things I had to take care of around the house. You're like, this person's like, oh, come on, Libra, come on. What are we doing this weekend? Like this person, for lack of a better word or phrasing, could be a quote unquote bad influence on you. And I don't think it's necessary. It could be. It doesn't feel that way, but it could be a bad influence. Because again, I keep coming back to this caution of nobody can live on pleasure alone. It's just not realistic. It's not sustainable. I don't care who you are in this world. Everybody has a bad day. But this Empress energy does not entertain that as a possibility. There are no bad days in this person's world or in this fantasy that you have or in this, it's so interesting. Just as an example, and I don't even know what part of a subculture this is, but I know there are people who, okay, I'm just going to use this as an example because I'm pretty sure they're known as a certain type, but I don't know what you would call them. But I'm just going to use this thing that some of us have heard of where, how people with high stress jobs, like lawyers, doctors, police officers or something like that, people who have to exude a certain amount of power and control in their everyday life, in their professional life, right? You know how sometimes those people get profiled on TV or in articles and they live this secret double life where 2 times a year they go to a convention or a retreat, and at that retreat I'm not shaming anybody, by the way, but they dress up as babies. I'm not shitting on anybody's kink. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But, because they have to be, I'm a big adult and I balance checkbooks and I carry a briefcase, or, all my emails are answered in a professional manner. It's they have to be so confined that they have to go to a specific place so that they can release all of that tension. That is what this feels like. That the antithesis, or the maybe not the antithesis, but the anecdote to having a life of stress and constraint is to let loose in such a crazy way that it becomes, or it is, a kink of a type, or a certain a different lifestyle, an atypical lifestyle. No shame. If that's what you do and everybody's safe and everybody is consenting, good for you. That's excellent. What is that? I don't know what that is. So let's move on to the rest of the reading. If you've been with my channel for a while, you know what I'm about to say, but if you're new here, welcome to my spiel. Libra. I only ever intend to lay a 6-card spread. As you can see here in your main, you have 7 cards. Because you have 2 cards showing up in one position, it makes a triangular shape, which is what I call the triplet. The triplet is sometimes a complementary or a supplementary story to what we discuss in the 4 cards separate from it. And I don't know what it is until I get to the triplet, so let's figure out what it is. It is... It feels complimentary. It feels complimentary. Yeah, it feels complimentary. This might be sort of what you're internally going through, or it could be an external thing. Where do we go? Okay. Yeah, okay. So, to start, pardon me, I guess I need to make some tea because my throat has really been, I haven't coughed much, but it feels irritated. Anyway, you have the Page of Cups and the Tower card, secondary major arcana for Aries, in case any of you are dealing with an Aries, but you don't have to be. Some type of offer with the Page of Cups. Oh, water sign energy with the Page of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Again, you don't have to be dealing with any of those signs. It's really just to educate you on the tarot and what each of the court cards and the majors are associated with. Some type of offer with the Page of Cups. Could be you making the offer, but I feel a lot of you... Oh. Okay. Okay. If it's coming towards you, in many cases, this is what's coming towards you. It's a small offer, might be an apology, or it could be you making an apology. But whatever it is, it's small and ineffectual almost. It's not exciting. It's pretty dull, this Page of Cups energy. The person, the offer, the experience, the object, if it comes in the form of a gift, underwhelming, right? And, or just like bad timing in some cases, just like, I don't need this now, I already have it. You know, if this was a gift, like if somebody's like, hey, here's the new, you know, the new iPhone 9, and they're like, what? That is like an old phone. I'm an Android user. So, but I know the 9 is not the latest, right? And someone's like, hey, I got you the iPhone 9 for your birthday or for Christmas or for whatever. And you're like, what? That's old by this point. Still functional. I mean, I know people who are using iPhone like 7s or 8s, something like that. So that's what it is. It's like, thank you, but no thanks, or how sweet of you. I'm not going to use this, but I'll take it anyway. And there's a certain rejection with the Tower card of this offer, of this gift, of this approach, of the circumstance, a rejection or a disappointment, or in some cases, it might make somebody fly off the handle for some reason, be like really explosive, but that's like in a rare case, I think. There's a disconnect between you and this person, or you and the circumstances in which this person resides, meaning like in the sense of the person giving a gift. It could be a family member who you see like once in a while, and due to the like the one time of the year that you see them, and they come and they offer you something that they knew you were into when you were like a teenager, and you're like, I'm 37. I don't need this anymore. I don't use this anymore. Aunt Cindy, what are you doing? This is useless to me. That is a very extreme or, bristly response to the gift or response to the person. It just feels like whatever is being offered to you or that you're offering to someone else is not of much use. It is not viable. Another way to put it, somebody gives you like one of those coupon books. You open it up, half of the coupons are expired. Why'd you give me this? I can't even use half of the things in here. Why'd you do that? Now I'm being quote unquote gentle with this energy because the Page of Cups is a kind-hearted person. No matter who they are or how old they are, they have good intentions. They mean you no harm. They don't mean to offend. They honestly just want to show admiration, show care and concern, show that they love you, show that they want to support you or whatever it is. And so maybe that is even kind of what turns you off about the offer or them, that they're so nice. Some people hate that. Oh my God, you're so nice. It makes it, and maybe that's it. Because this person is so nice, Libra, whether it be you or someone else, because the person is so nice and so forgiving or so understanding, maybe not forgiving, but understanding, it makes it so much harder to dislike them. I don't feel that way about nice people. I love when I meet nice people. Like, fuck yeah, bring nice people into my life. But some people can't stand it because here we go. Now I'm getting the sense, okay. we get sometimes it comes out after I put it down. What I'm feeling is, for those that feel this person is quote unquote too nice, some of you, or they, whoever it is, feels that it's almost like embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed that someone so nice cares for me. This is an issue of self-worth. In some cases, this is a situation where I'm not that great. Why does this person think I'm so great? Why is this person so nice to me? Why do they keep giving me gifts? Why do they keep making me offers? Why do they keep inviting me out? Not that you dislike them. It's more of like a, don't they know I'm not the greatest person on earth? Don't they know I'm kind of a douchebag or, you know, a bitch or whatever it is? Like, that's that negative self-talk that some people have. And when nice people approach someone who has that outlook on themselves, they become weary and cautious and even like pushing away the nice person, like, no. You're too nice. There's something going on here. Like, I'm not great. What are you up to? It's like they become suspicious, or they just become, they are resistant to people treating them nicely because they're used to receiving garbage. Does that make sense? Like, to put it, to put it in terms of like food, if you're used to eating beans out of a can, right, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then someone comes along and offers you like a sandwich or, you know, a 3-course meal. Hey, come on over here and have a 3-course meal with me. You're like, wait. What is this poison you're trying to feed me? Where are the beans? Where are the cans of beans? That's food. And you're just like, there's other things to enjoy in life besides cans of beans for sustenance. And you're like, no. Nope. That's wrong. Because you're so used to eating. I'm not calling beans garbage, obviously, but you're so used to a certain way of feeding yourself, of nourishing yourself, bad or negative self-talk. You know, other people providing you with negative self-talk. Oh, here's another can of I hate myself. Or here's another can of I don't have self-confidence. Go ahead and eat that. You're so used to that. And then someone comes along and say, hey, Libra, I think you're kind of charming. Libra, I think you're really smart. Libra, I value you. What? No. You're a lizard person. You're not real. You know, it's like resistance to being treated kindly. Interesting. And that tower moment, who did I just explain that to? Virgo. I think it was Virgo, because I think the tower card came up in their reading. And I explained to them, especially for those who are not so familiar with tarot, it's not always a big bombastic moment in your life. It's not always coming with explosive moments and arguments or, you know, tragedy. Sometimes it's just the way a person thinks about a situation, the way a person communicates within a situation, the decisions that are made can become tower moments. Anything is a tower moment. So if someone is making offers that are not valued, not useful, not on time, or they're useful and they're plentiful, or they're here to enrich your life, but you don't have the proper receptor element in you to properly receive love, care, affection, compliments, could just be compliments. That tower moment will come. So, you know your life better than I do of how that works. Interestingly, what we are missing when that happens is the Fool. Secondary major arcana for Aquarius. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius, but you don't have to be. Like, half of the zodiac is on the board, so you might as well throw it out the window that you're dealing with all of them, right? Anyway, so the Fool is a new beginning, a new start, jumping into new endeavors, jumping into new territory, jumping into new relationships, because Page of Cups could be a love offer. It's small, or rather it might be quiet. Might just be an offer for a date. Hey, Libra, do you want to go out? Put those beans down. I'll take you out to a nice restaurant. And you're like, nah, I'm good with my beans, man. So we miss this chance. Even though maybe it is desired. Because I think whoever is being offered to, I think that they want this. I think maybe they just don't think they deserve it. Or they want this, but they just don't believe the way in which the offer is being presented. And I mean, that could be down to simply you're just not attracted to this person in a dating scenario. You know, hey, Libra, do you think you have time on, you know, Thursday night to go out? It's like, you know, no, I don't, sorry, but no. You know, it's like that. And again, that can be down to simply, you're just not my type. The Fool would indicate someone, at least one person, wants an opportunity, wants a chance to start in onto something new. But they don't take it up. They pass it by, they ignore it, they don't recognize it when it comes. Total missed opportunity here. Which can be good or bad, you know, or rather could be positive or negative. And those are still relative terms. Because it's not like we'll never get new opportunities again, you know. The Fool and all the tarot cards repeat themselves over and over throughout the entirety of your life. So at this moment, Libra, someone is not taking a leap of faith. Not maybe, like I said, not trusting the offer. Thinking that, you know, a full course meal with like a main, a side, you know, a nice glass of Chardonnay or something like that is poison. I eat beans. What are you eating? That's poison. Not taking a leap of faith, leap of faith, not trusting what is offered. Being suspicious of it, feeling unworthy of it. Or just simply not being interested in it because of how it's presented or who is presenting it or whatever. This Fool card will still persist because I think it's still relative to this in some kind of way. Because I feel this Empress and this Fool are kind of similar in that seeking pleasure or seeking good things, seeking something. The Empress is a little bit more in knowing of what she seeks or knowing what she wants to experience in terms of energy, not a person, she or female. It could be males. We could be talking about all men here. It doesn't matter. But this person, this energy is more, I know what I want. I know what will make me happy. I know what's going to put a smile on my face, right? This energy is like, what's going to put a smile on my face? I guess I'll jump off this cliff and I'll see. This is a lot more undetermined. The Empress is kind of playing within her means. She's playing a game that she's well familiar with. Yeah? That's interesting. Leo. Slip of the tongue. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Leo. Libra. It's very interesting because I think in proper Libra fashion, we're talking about a lot of things at one time. Air sign quality. You guys always have a million things bumping around in your head at all times. So to even peel out just one or two storylines here is amazing because I'm sure you've got like 20 more that we could go on and on and on about in this reading, yeah? But we will not. We're going to move on to your outcome for November, Libra. 3 of Pentacles. So I think many of you kind of get back to business, get back to your regularly scheduled programming, get back to business as normal, reporting to work on Monday, you know, showing up to meetings that could have just been emails. Like, why am I sitting in this 45-minute meeting, Sandra? We could have been done by now. It's just like the regular to and fro, regular flow, can't even talk, regular flow of your life kind of gets back into rhythm. Could be some of you are taking on new projects at work or at home. You know, I'm getting, you know, somebody might start installing or building a shelf or like reorganizing or redecorating a room in the home. You know, things that you said you would do, but for the past 3 or 4 weeks, you've been partying every weekend. And then finally your husband or your wife is just like, are you going to do that thing that you said you were going to do like back in October? And you're like, okay, yeah, I am. It's like not no longer, maybe not no longer, but finally, getting on with the program. What is it? How do you say that? Get with the program, getting on with the program, get with the program. This is finally getting with the program. This is finally almost resigning yourself to, I can't have it the way I want it, so let me do things the way I already know how to do, or let me do them to the best of my ability as the situation stands, as the circumstance stands at this moment. Making do is another way. Making do. Another thing with the Three of Pentacles, we can talk about, teamwork, third party situation. I mean, that could be going on here, since we did talk a little bit about love and romance with that Page of Cups in the Tower. And that could be it. It could be you're married and somebody's trying to, give you a wink and a nudge on the side, and you're just like, I'm married. What are you doing? I'm married. Why are you making this offer to me? Why are you approaching me in this way? And it's just like, because I think you're cute. And, someone might have to beat them off with a stick. Like, okay, I know I'm awesome, but please go away. So in some of your cases, maybe it's like that. I don't feel it's third party, if at all, in a way that everybody, we're like two people are sneaking off. I don't feel that. I feel that it's like a unrequited third party situation. Like somebody wants to interject. Somebody wants to be, your man or woman on the side, or your partner's woman or man on the side, but it's a rejection. It's like not going. Or, let me go ahead and put the shoe on the other foot. Or you're in a partnership and you're seeking someone outside, or whoever's in the partnership is seeking someone outside, and the person outside is like, aren't you married? Did you not take and stand at an altar and recite some vows? You're married. No. So it could go either way, but there is like this resistance to a third party situation. And someone goes back possibly to their partner and says, listen, I know we've been having a rough patch. Let's try and work this out. Let's try and work together and make our relationship solid. Yeah. You've had a roller coaster of reading, because this was like some really intense stuff. And this was intense too, but in a different way. It feels very, and there we go. We got two cards back to back. I'm not going to talk about the High Priestess, but please note that the High Priestess is there. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it, because I'm not going to talk about it. But how I said all of this is intense, but then I was like, but not really. And then I picked this up and I was like, oh, that's why. And then I see, oh yeah, that's why for sure. It's intense to you. Whoever is resonating with this is intense on an internal level. It's not overly external how intense this is. This is probably a very quiet time in your life right now, Libra. Aside from going out every once in a while to dance, or, drink at the bar, or, go to a party or whatever it is. Aside from those moments, this is not about you screaming from the top of your lungs, I seek pleasure in my life. I want to eat grapes from the vine. It's like, no, you're quietly dreaming about doing that stuff. Now, the overall energy is the Hermit, major arcana for Virgo. So some of you might be dealing with a Virgo, but you don't have to be. Pardon me. So Libra, at the root of it all, I don't want to say you're unhappy, because I don't think that's the case. It's not about unhappiness. There might be, I'll use a different scenario here, because this card has come up a lot, and I think I said it for Gemini's reading. I said to them, you got clogged pipes, and I used that whole analogy. For you, Libra, I think you have a leak in your pipes, or a leak in your roof. Maybe literally you do, like in your home. Go check it out. But what I'm feeling like, you have a fissure, a crack somewhere in your foundation, or crack, or, like I said, a leak in a pipe that over time has gotten or will get worse. And this Hermit energy would encourage you to seek out the cause of the leak, where the crack is coming from in your roof, right? And see what you can do to repair it. The Hermit is all about internal repair, internal spiritual work, looking to root out what your problem is and direct you to fix it. The Hermit doesn't necessarily fix. The Hermit highlights. That's why he carries a lantern. He shines the light on what's going on. And I'm saying he only because we have a man with like a long beard pictured. The Hermit, if embodied by a person, could be female. It could be you. It doesn't really matter who it is. But you're being encouraged to figure out why, maybe in some of your cases, you have such a big fixation and desire for pleasure in your life. As much as you might be performing well at your job, you like it well enough, you are socially accepted there, and you're at the top of your game when you're there, but maybe there is more that you need. If you're in a relationship, but every weekend you want to do something fun, or you never maybe want to do anything alone with your partner. Maybe you always want to go, oh, let's go out here. Let's go and go to an amusement park this weekend. Let's go and take a tour in San Francisco in 2 weeks. Let's do this. Let's do that. You never want to be at home. You never want to be alone with your partner. It's something like that. There's some repetitive behavior on your part, their part, or whoever's part that is showing a dissatisfaction. Maybe not dissatisfaction, but something is not fulfilling. Deep down inside. And we could even plug that back to the person who's eating beans of self-loathing for dinner, breakfast, and lunch every day. The Hermit's like, you know why you feel awful about yourself, or you don't have a positive outlook on your own life? You eat beans that say self-loathing on the can. You take all the years of your parents telling you, or whoever telling you you're not smart, you're not funny, you're not creative, you're not beautiful, whatever, and you keep shoveling more of that down your own throat. No wonder you don't have a positive outlook on yourself. No wonder you have self-esteem. So that's what the Hermit is here to highlight for you. Doesn't offer solutions, doesn't offer a fix-it. Just shows you got a leak in your pipes. You got a crack in your roof. Okay? Libra, that is your reading for November. If you liked it, there is a like button down below. Hit it. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love to read that. You, of course, can share this across your social media platforms. Let other people know you like my content here on the channel. And, of course, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date on all the things that I upload here on the channel. All right, Libra, I'll be back in about 2 weeks doing the mid-Novembers. Ooh. And then I'll do, like I said, I'm going to do my live during Thanksgiving break, or the week of Thanksgiving. I'll decide the date and time. I'll post that here on the channel. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, Libra, for watching this video today. I really do appreciate it. Take care.